Good evening, everybody. Welcome to PatFacts. Patrick here, Pat on your back, personal fitness. Hope everyone's having a great week so far and surviving the frigid weather that we're dealing with right now. Sorry for the delay this evening. Some internet issues with my computer for some reason. So we're on the mobile tonight, as the kids say. I think they say that. So again, sorry for the delay, but tonight we want to talk about self-care. How's your self-care? We've talked the last few months of 2023 leading into this year of setting our goals and our action words and our themes and our steps and our contingency plans and ways to have a successful 2024, a successful year. And a big part of that is going to come back to our self-care. What are you doing to take care of yourself to make sure that you can stay on track with those goals, that you can have the energy and the clarity, and the enthusiasm to, again, put in the work to get towards those goals when maybe those days where you just don't feel like doing that, which, again, those will come up. It's perfectly natural to have those and to deal with those. But that self-care again will help us stay on track. Perhaps self-care is part of your goal itself. Maybe you're trying to increase your fitness levels. Maybe you're trying to improve your nutrition, your sleep, stress management. All those fall under self-care. But we want to really focus on the self-care, even if it isn't specifically part of our goal, because again, it will help us in that journey. It will help us with stress management, sleeping, getting good night's sleep, help the body mind recover, as we've talked about here before. That helps set you up the next day for another day of progress towards that goal. I was just looking at a few different ways you can include self-care in your routine. And feel free, if you're with us live or on the recording, let me know some of your favorite self-care routines. What do you take part into? Make sure your self-care is a high priority. Sorry, guys, again, we're just using something different tonight. Awesome. So what do you use to, again, make sure that your self-care is a top priority for you? A few different options, and let us know some of your favorites. Common ones are, again, going to the gym, especially this time of year. A lot of people will decide to go to the gym or take classes or sign up for programs or challenges to make their health, their fitness, their wellness, that self-care component kind of be highlighted and the main emphasis of their goals for 2024. A great place to start. Again, for a lot of people, that may even be your goal itself, some sort of health and wellness version of that, maybe going to the gym more, exercising more, maybe losing a bit of weight, gaining strength, improving flexibility. Lots of different options there. But there's multiple facets. I just mentioned a bunch within that kind of fitness realm that, again, can help you. So maybe your goal is to gain strength this year, be a little stronger, maybe be a little more functional, or what we like to call here operationally fit to fight the daily battles life hands you. So to be able to be more operationally fit, ready for your day-to-day tasks. Maybe you have a plan to get to the gym more often and do some functional-based multi-joint movements, a few different types of training styles. Maybe do a lot of strength, maybe doing some cardio to kind of offset that a bit as well, or to kind of support that. But again, there's other facets in there that would fall under self-care that would help increase your results and maybe shorten the time it takes you to reach that goal or those little goals we've set along the way. So some examples of that would be flexibility training, yoga, Pilates, generic kind of stretching programs during your workouts, but maybe even separate days, having a bit of a stretching flexibility routine. Maybe it's mobility, moving through range of motion. Flexibility is typically increasing your flexibility, your range of motion. We go into a position, we hold generally to increase our flexibility at the joints. Mobility is being able to take the joint through a large range of motion. So there are they get interchanged a lot, but they are two different ideas. So flexibility and mobility could be examples of some self-care that you implement to supplement your fitness specific goal for 2024. Hydration, getting your water in every day, again, helps your muscles, your joints, your cells, your brain all perform optimally and again recover and do what they need to do. So having your water throughout the day helps that. So water is a great way, a great self-care kind of goal. And again, typically it's not to say simple, but it's maybe it should be sort of low stress. We just find the way that works best for you. Have your cup. We're doing a little bit of a challenge here within the house through a Todd Durkin challenge. Hey, Andrew, welcome in. So we each have so much each day to drink to try our best. So we use the shaker cups because they have the measurements on the side. So again, it's nice and easy. Fill to a point. When it's empty, I can check off, hey, Natty, I can check off one bottle done on my way to my daily goal. But even just something simple as having it on your desk, having it maybe in a couple different places, getting them ready the night before, just having them accessible makes it a little easier to stick with that self-care. Some people will pre-fill them the night before, maybe halfway, freeze them, and then fill the rest of it up the next morning. And then as that frozen portion melts, it keeps your water nice and cold throughout the day. Especially, I don't have one here with me, but if you have one of those insulated type water bottles, you can kind of work it out that way. There's a few different strategies that people like to use. I found for a while I always forget the name, the cups with the kind of built-in straw. For a while, I really had one of those on my desk at work and just would fill it and just sip from the straw as I was doing work at my desk because it was pretty quick. I didn't have to reach and really flip and have the drink. I could just grab it, sip it out of the straw, and then put it back. So I found it was easy to get right back into the computer work or even calls if I needed to take a quick sip beforehand. It was there for me. So my methods of hydration, my preferred methods have changed. Sometimes it's been a bit of a Gatorade bottle with the squeeze bottle. Again, I find out the shaker cups for what we're doing now. My Carnes and cup or this one, my Supplement King East Coast Lifestyle. Again, they have the measurements on the side, so I can really monitor my water intake because I'm trying to meet a certain goal each day. But again, whatever version or whatever seems to work for you, shaker cups, water bottles, the insulated bottles. So again, it'll stay cold if it's in your bag or in your locker or even like in your desk at work. Those insulated bottles are nice because again, they will stay cold throughout the day. So you can have that nice refreshing drink. So it'll help with your recovery. Again, if fitness, our example of self-care is our fitness for our goal, like our main goal for 24, a supplementary goal or a supplementary self-care would be that hydration, and that'll help our recovery, help our cells and our mind work how they need to, do the processes that they need to, so again we can perform optimally, we can recover quickly to be ready for the next workout. So again, it aids us along the journey of our 2024 goal. So even if your goal is a portion of self-care, there are still other self-care items that will again supplement that or help that along the way, assist that along the way. Yeah, Andrea, the shaker cups are pretty good. We find it's working for us. Again, having that measurement of knowing how much we've all sort of laid out how much within a cup we need to have. We go to that line, fill it up, and then we know, okay, there's one down, 5 more to go, or however many are left. We can really monitor that intake and see where we are. And again, even if you've had 1.5 or 1.25, you can still see that measurement and keep track of it as you go. And then again, if you're having like I have a little bit of pre-workout typically before exercise or even work some days because I do a lot of heavy lifting. Again, I just use that as well. Then give it a rinse after, and then fill it back up with the water to continue on. So it's sort of multi purpose for me. But again, it's about finding the modality that works best for you with any of these, as always. But water, I find it's really specific to the person. Some need them, the bottles there with them. Some need them pre-filled so they're ready to go. Some can have it with them and just fill it as they need to, and they sip away. Some need to, again, set the reminder on the phone to drink the water to stay hydrated. Again, sometimes our tech, our watches, our phones, you can set that reminder to say, hey, have some water, or stand up from your desk. And maybe that's your cue as well to drink that water as well. You can kind of, again, two birds, one stone, tie it into some other things that you have going on. Yeah, Andrea says she bought one of the giant jugs with the built-in straws, but it's not convenient to carry around. Yeah, again, it depends on you and what you're doing. At work we have the big jugs that looks like a water bottle that you would put in a water cooler. Is kind of the style of it, and it holds, I think, a liter or 2 liters of water. And actually along the side of the cup, instead of having measurements like this one does, it has times. So it has 8:39, say, from 8 to 5 or 7, say, and each one it has a little cue. Get the day started, keep going, stay hydrated, you're halfway there, finish strong, top up. It has these little kind of drink reminders that you can kind of relate to a time to kind of see where you should be or supposed to be kind of during the day. So again, it's another way to maybe keep you on track with your intake. You can take a look and, oh, it's 12:30 and I'm still at 9 o'clock. I've got to catch up, and then you can that reminder to increase that intake. But again, sometimes they're not as convenient as we like to. If you're traveling around, maybe from place to place, you'd work multiple locations, or just to and from work sometimes, or if you're walking around a lot, they're tricky to carry and have with you. Whereas this typically, again, it's not too bad to hang on to, and it usually will fit in the kind of sleeve of a backpack or a bag type thing. Oh yeah, the big jugs don't fit in a cup holder. That's true too. So again, it's that convenience and accessibility for these and what you're looking for to accomplish. So again, we talked water, we talked flexibility and mobility as supplementing your sort of fitness routine. But again, if your goal is to learn how to run a spreadsheet program at work, if that's your goal for 2024, these self-care routines are all important for us as well to ensure optimal performance throughout the day. So whether they're supplementing a fitness goal or a wellness goal that you've stated, maybe drinking so many so many milliliters of water a day is your goal. Maybe that's your big goal for 24. That's great. Then some of these other goals will fit into that as well. So again, we're coming at it as if fitness is our goal, and these are supplementary to that. But the roles could all be reversed for these as well. Nutrition. So trying to eat as best we can. Typically what we like to recommend is 80-20 rule. Eating as best as you can, as clean as you can, 80% of the time. And then 20% of the time we can indulge, we can have those treats, maybe a little cheat day, or you don't have to worry about it so much. The goal isn't to be perfect 100% of the time, because typically that sets us up for overwhelm and kind of increases our chances of not sticking with it, because everything is so rigid and so kind of by the book that it just gets a little bland, a little boring, or it just feels like a chore rather than a lifestyle and choices, which is how we want it to feel. So typically look at that in 80-20 rule as best we can. Maybe for you, it's you started at a 50-50. Maybe that's better. Maybe you're 80-20 the other way right now. Maybe we just need to bring things down gradually to that. Maybe a 60-40, 50-50, and then switch it up the other way. Know where you are, know where you're going, and you can work through that as well. But that's generally the idea. Again, we get good food in our body, which gives us good fuel for our muscles, again, our mind to perform the tasks that we need to recover from the tasks that we've already performed. And that will help us prepare for the next round of those tasks that we have to do. Again, fitness related or even just day-to-day tasks that you need to do. But again, what we like to remind you kind of as we're going through here, we're thinking, speaking of a few different methods of self-care to again help either supplement our goal for 2024, if it is kind of self-care based, and even if it's not, just to support it. and help us increase our chances of success and help us stay on track and kind of help push us along that path toward that goal. The important thing is to not get overwhelmed. So we've talked about flexibility, mobility. We've talked about hydration. We've talked about nutrition. Um, the big thing would probably not to try to um, correct or improve or really fine tune all those things at once. What we probably recommend is you look at the one where it would have the most benefit to you. So if you really struggle with water intake, if your nutrition is really off, if your flexibility, mobility just isn't there, but you're okay with your water, but it could be better, nutrition's not too bad, then we'd focus on the flexibility. Pick the one thing that's going to give you the most benefit up front. It's probably going to take the most work, but in the end, you'll get the best results from it, and then go on to the next thing once that is part of your routine as well. So maybe it's a matter of taking out our plan for 2024, and maybe now we need to add in those bits of self-care to again supplement what is our big goal for 24, and to make sure we stay in that routine. And maybe some of our checkpoints and smaller goals need to involve a little bit of these self-care check-ins to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves, because we're working hard to get that goal, to get to the end of 2024 having a great year. So we need those check-ins. Will deserve that self-care for the hard work we're doing. And again, it will supplement what we're doing, and just supplement what it is we're doing, and help us have those great results, and help push us along, give us that little boost at times as well. So another one important one is sleep and rest. Most of us, myself included, don't get enough sleep each night. Um, so finding ways to sleep, again, looking at nighttime routine we've talked about here before. We'll probably touch on it again in a few weeks, just as a reminder and a way to tie it into your working on your goals for this year. A nighttime routine, a morning routine, all tie into that good restful sleep. Um, Something I'm still working on is my kind of focusing on my nighttime routine. So if I get that down, that should influence my morning routine a little better as well. But looking at different ways to incorporate that sleep time, your sleep scheduling, getting through those deep cycles of sleep so you wake up feeling refreshed each morning. Again, that sleep, that rest is when our mind and our muscles can really regenerate and repair themselves, because we're not really doing anything. We're lying still, we're lying down, we're not up against gravity, we're not moving around, we're just kind of being, we're there. So things kind of come down, we get to our sort of steady state, and then again, the body can recover itself. So that's why we drink as much water as we can, we eat as good as we can throughout the day. So again, our body has a good fuel to use during the day, but also in the evening and at night when we're sleeping and resting, so we can get optimal recovery to again be as prepared as we can be for the next day. So again, bedtime routine, morning routines, the environment you sleep in can play a big factor. Devices before bed, cutting that off so you don't have the blue light exposure, and even just the exposure of the pings and the alerts and the social media and things like that. Um, Again, looking at different ways. There's different routines out there. If you have any questions about that, again, reach out. We can give you some ideas or set up a little coaching call maybe to go through some of that. But there's a few different modalities you can set up. Again, it depends what you do, and finding what works for you. And then same thing in the morning when you get up. That feeling restful and ready to go, having that routine to get you energized and ready through that day, and maybe take care of some of these self-care components first thing, get them going. That'll give you that energy and that good foundation to start the day. And then again, maybe there's other ones we can incorporate into the nighttime routine. So we're again making great use of our time. We're in a nighttime routine, but we're doing some of the self-care, maybe some flexibility or mobility work that will help the body, the mind, again, recover a little bit, start to relax, to get into that sleep zone. So then as we sleep, we recover, we get up, we kind of do the opposite. We get warm up, we move a bit, maybe we're a little more energetic with our movements, to, again, get that heart rate up, get the body and the mind working so it's ready for us for the day. So sleep is hugely important, and all the factors that go around it as well. So again, see what works for you, trial and error, and adjust as you need to. Andrea mentions here, you're right, a nighttime routine can affect your sleep. I took a supplement before bed last night that I don't usually take. At that hour, I slept horribly. Yeah, I was up several times in the washroom and just had to get had some energy that I didn't need at that hour. Yeah, and even just something as simple as eating a little later than we're used to. That food processing in our body can throw our system off, make us just more alert because the body's trying to digest and process that food, metabolize that food. So all those things going on inside us can cause us to be restless or make it harder for us to go to sleep. So creating that routine and trying to stick with it as much. Now Andrea knows to maybe take her supplement earlier in the day so that it can be in her system and kind of wear off or come down or ease out, whatever the case may be, so that when it's time to get ready for bed, again, she go through those natural phases that we go through with our circadian rhythms and things as it gets dark. That's a cue for our body to get ready to sleep. And again, with the supplements, for some people, exercise is the same thing. We typically recommend to not exercise just before bed because, again, the heart rate's up, the blood pressure's up a bit, the muscles are pumping, the body's trying to recover and repair from the work that you've just done. So things stay elevated a little bit, and that makes it harder to settle and relax and get to sleep. So usually we say, get the exercise in during the day or in the morning, then you can make use of that energy through the day, or give yourself enough time before bed to exercise, cool down, unwind, and let the body naturally come back to its, again, steady state before we start our nighttime routine and get to bed. One thing a lot of people like to do is journal before bed and even getting up. But for a lot of people, before bed is nice because it gets everything out of here and onto paper, and everything here that might normally bounce around and keep you up at night. If it's here and on paper, then the brain and body can know, okay, it's written down. I'm not going to forget it in the morning, so I can relax and I can ease off on it. If it's not on paper, then it's kind of that worry of, oh, am I going to forget it? I have to do this and kick this thing. We kind of go through those loops in our mind. That again, that creates that restlessness, that anxiousness, and that's harder to get to sleep. So sometimes as simple as a brain dump of getting paper out and just writing all the things out that are on your mind, getting them out on paper. And again, it's sort of a visual thing. Okay, it's there, so I know tomorrow when I get up, I can come back to this and pick up where I left off and keep things going. So it depends on it. It creates that state of calmness, of clarity to know, okay, I don't have to think of those things right now. They're down on paper. I can get to them in the morning, and the mind starts to settle down and unwind, and kind of also file them aside for the morning. So a lot of people will find that. We've talked about gratitude journaling here. We did our gratitude challenge back around Thanksgiving. So a lot of people do that in the morning to start their day off right in a state of gratitude, and that creates, again, happiness and clarity and a good energy, helping us work towards our day. But again, you could do it midday as a little break, as a recharge. You could do it in the evening before bed, even to, again, help us unwind and maybe set aside the stresses of the day by putting ourselves into a state of gratitude. So it's a nice way to look around that. And again, these are all self-care methods that we should try to implement, at least some of them, into our routines to help us on our goals towards 2024. Natty says she always feels sleepy after exercise. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe. No, everyone's a little different. Some people feel exhausted. Some people feel energized. It depends on the workout you're doing. Depends on you. Depends on the day you've had. For some, exercise, especially in the beginning, for some people makes them feel really exhausted and tired. And then once they get into that routine, and then it becomes sort of, again, said that habitual or second nature, then they have that energized feeling because the body, again, adapts to it and gets used to it. So it depends, again, on the person. and the workout style. If you have a nice, like a intense workout, but a really good cool down portion after, if it's really effective and efficient, then again the body's going to go into that recovery mode, which could cause the sleepy feeling, the tired feeling after a hard workout. Yeah, and that is also suggests you could also make voice messages if you don't want to write. So thinking of the brain dump or the journaling at night, if there's things you need to do, for sure, you can do a voice memo or voice recording of the things you want to do in the morning, the things to do the next day, so you have them there as well. But then again, there's somewhere where you know you can recall them and not have to use this guy after a night's sleep when you've had dreams and have recovered and things have repaired and some of the skills you learned that day absorbed in here and were programmed so you could do them more efficiently later. Sometimes that pushes some of those things aside that we're trying to work on or remember the next day. So yeah, voice memo, writing it out, maybe messaging someone, a colleague. Hey, let's chat about this tomorrow. Remind me. And then maybe between the two of you, or again, having it out there in a text message or an email. Again, it'll bring it back to you. Maybe setting reminders. Our phones have reminder systems now, so maybe setting reminders for the next morning, so that when you get up and finish your routine, maybe just after your routine ends, you start getting a couple of reminders to get you on track of what it is you need to work on or what you're looking to do and accomplish. To-do lists are here now as well. I know my recent update on my iPhone now, there's a journal app built in the iPhone. There's other programs as well. There's that you can get 5-minute journals and growth day and things like that have journals in them. But the newest update, I haven't used it a lot yet, just sort of peeked around at it, but there is actually a journal app within the new software for iPhones. So again, because it's becoming more common and people are trying to uh, work on all areas of their health, not just fitness, but in health and wellness. It's becoming a little more common for people to journal and people who something that we should be doing more, and it's good for us. So it's becoming a little more mainstream. Some of these companies are taking advantage of it, putting it out there. And then again, that's causing others to keep up and put it out there as well. So there's lots of options. It's finding what works best for you. Uh, yeah, so Andrea says she was off for appointments and errands. She had a large list in her notes in her phone of what she needed to do. And yeah, the journal updates, she saw that too. Yeah, so having a list in your phone, the notes program, I do a lot of lists in there. Again, the reminders program, so you get an actual notification, maybe just before you're looking to do your calendar as well in your phone, your device. Usually there's reminders you can set up as well, which works like a written agenda. But again, maybe you prefer pen and paper and have a written agenda with a to-do list and some notes. There's no right or wrong here. It's more of what works for you. Yeah, same thing, Andrea. I kind of peeked at the journal, but didn't get too much into it. I'm on a trial version of another program that includes a journal and was playing around with that. And then I saw the updates. So we'll see kind of where we end up. Yeah, I'm trying to incorporate the calendar in my phone as well. I found that was more useful for me than an agenda. I would forget it at home or at work and not write in it. And the phone typically is with me 9 times out of 10. So I can grab the phone, I can check availability, and I can put in those appointments right away. So I don't forget about them as much as possible, unless I forget to put it in. But it's been a big use for me. And I put my appointments, but I've also toying around with putting some of my daily tasks in there too, to have sort of a next day prep reminder and a morning routine reminder, or what kind of workout I am, or what am I doing on my business right now, or paying my bills and having some of that stuff in there. So again, I get those reminders and those alerts, and that's a form of self-care too, of having that organization and that plan of knowing what's coming, having it laid out, having it set. Then you're not trying to guess and figure things out. So yeah, lots of different ways we can work through this. Again, looking at self-care and how good it is for us. So just to finish up here, another modality or a kind of external self-care I want to touch on is having your health team involved, having your coach involved, having your massage therapist. Are you getting for massages once in a while? Are you going to physio to look after those kind of ailments that maybe are bothering you and are affecting your performance? Are you going to see your chiropractor? Are you going to see a dietitian or nutritionist to help that healthy eating routine really get to the next level for you? Again, there's people out there. What we've talked about before, how I try to see us now as having a team. I had a client joke once and say how it's easy for Usain Bolt because he has his team with him of his physio and his chiro and his coaches, and I thought, well, we should have that too, and we can. It's here. It's maybe not at the extent of someone like him would have, but in the sense of having a health and wellness coach, or a fitness and wellness coach, having a physiotherapist, having a chiropractor, having a massage therapist, a sports therapist, your eye doctor, your MD, your family doctor, all this is part of your medical team or your team that helps you perform optimally. So, hey, Bonnie, welcome in. Good to see you. Making sure that we book those forms of self care as well. Our massages, or again, physio or chiro, and or chiropractor, with massage to again help those ailments that we're dealing with that again are maybe affecting our performance, to our goals, or could become those roadblocks that, I know I want to work my goal today, but my ankle is feeling off today, or my back's not quite where I think it needs to be. We want all these things to work together, part of a team. And I've worked with even fit pros who, sometimes were a little too heavily reliant on chiro and massage, and we're doing the work in between. All of them work together with each other. So if you're exercising, you're going to physio, you do the exercises physio gives you, you do your workouts that create strength and mobility and balance, so that you can, again, improve from that result, and kind of move on. So, making a point to schedule in some of those appointments too. If you've been putting off, I've actually got a referral out now for a physio. I'm waiting to hear from them. I have some X-rays and ultrasounds booked to check out some foot issues I've been having and to get the root of the problem. So again, trying to ramp up that self-care, help myself heal, cure some of these ailments, or at least even minimize what's going on if they're too far gone to cure right away, or will take more time. Even if they improve a little bit, you're going to feel better. You're going to feel more energized and be able to do more to work towards that goal. So, just thinking of that external self care as well. A lot of it tonight was kind of internal and thinking of our hydration and nutrition, our sleep, our flexibility, our exercise. Again, all that is self care, helps with our stress management, as well. Looking at different ways we can manage and combat stress is a big one. But then thinking externally as well, how can we seek other professionals to help us with our self-care routine? So again, there's no right or wrong. There's no one way to do this. For some of you, you may be self-driven enough that your fitness and nutrition and hydration you can take care of. For some of you, you'll need coaches for that, and that's okay. Everyone's a little different. Some of us can, maybe go to physio and are self-sufficient to do the exercises to get through the treatment. Some of us need more appointments to make sure we're getting the exercises in and those treatments to help us recover a little faster. Again, you have to know you and what works for you. And if you're not sure, again, trial and error, book those appointments, book the assessments, look around, find people who are, have the expertise you're looking for that fits in with you and what you're looking to accomplish. And again, if you're not happy with someone, feel free to move on to the next one. You don't have to stay with massage therapists if they're not treating you quite the style that you're looking for or seeing the results. Then maybe you need someone with a different background or different experience. Same as with all those other modalities. If it's not quite working out or not a good fit, then it's okay to move on and find someone who is a better fit for you, so that you can get the results that you need. Just do a last little check here. Uh, Nice, great job, Andrea. Andrea had some appointments that were directed for at external self care, getting some of those her health team involved, getting things taken care of, making sure things are okay, and then putting the steps in place to tweak or modify anything that maybe is a little bit off. We can get ahead of the game that way. Then again, it's not quite such an uphill battle if we can catch things early or get ahead of the game or have a good team and plan in place. So again, just to sum up, we have our big goal set for 2024. For a lot of us, it could be a self-care based goal, but even if it is, there's these other self-care modalities like sleep, nutrition, hydration, massage, physio, stress management that we can incorporate into our routines that will, again, supplement or facilitate our big goal. And if your big goal isn't self-care based, then again, those self-care modalities are so important still, because they'll help you stay on track. They'll help you stay on progress. They'll help you have the energy and the enthusiasm and the motivation to stay on course and to keep moving, even when things feel tough. So again, if some of you have already, again, if you're with us live or joining us in recording, please let me know what your preferred self-care methods are, or what you do for you. Maybe it's a walk in nature, maybe it's some alone time, maybe it's some headphones and music to get away a bit, massage, yeah, whatever you find works best for you to give you some care that you deserve to help you work towards those results. And that's it for tonight, gang. Thanks so much, as always, for being here. Please feel free to share this with anyone who may benefit, and invite them into our community, as we're always growing to help each other be the best version of ourselves that we can be. Thanks. Bonnie says walking and music. Awesome. Yeah, those are great self-care. Nice walk, a nice break from the stressors of every day, and the day-to-day routine is great. And I find music is great for me as well, just to escape a little bit and get lost in the beat or the words or the story or just the song itself, just to kind of, again, tune things off. A friend of mine that we met streaming used to say, music on, world off was her sort of mantra. The music would kind of give her that break for a little bit. So great choices there, Bonnie, as well, for some self-care. So we'll see you next week. Stay warm out there. It's pretty chilly. Again, incorporate all those. Think about what you're doing and plan ahead for your activities, especially if they're outside this time of year, or if you're in and out and in and out. Again, there's different climates in different places. So plan ahead and be as prepared as you can. We'll see everybody here next week. Thanks so much for being here. And as always, make yourself the priority that you deserve to be by striving to be operationally fit. Have a great night. We'll see you next week.